G'day everyone, Professor Maple here. Whoa, jumping. That's better. That's better. G'day everyone, Professor Maple here. We're back on the Nebulous server. And what are we doing? Well, we were waiting for grass to grow. I've sort of begun construction of some of these upper hexes here. So, I forget if I've mentioned this before or not. So I'll mention it again, just in case. So this upper ring of hexes here is going to be sort of like the main first basement floor, I guess we could call it. And so I'm going to fill in these 6 hexes. I'm going to fill them in with dirt, cover them with grass, put some cool stuff on them, I'm sure. And that'll be that. But another thing I'm going to do here. Oh, and so you see I've got like grass coming down. I don't have Silk Touch on this server yet, so I've just been growing it down into the basement here, and I've got some started over there for when I fill these 2 hexes in. And I've also started trying a different way of constructing these top hexes, because what I've found is that when I'm sort of trying to get things sort of set up for these hexes on the underside, it's a lot harder to do if I don't already have like a scaffolding underneath. So what I'm doing is digging out enough to put the hex in, and then what I'm gonna do, or what I have been doing, what I'm gonna keep doing, is sort of just not so much for the floors themselves, but especially the stairs on the sides. I'm just kind of coming in underneath and putting them in from below, and then I'll be able to put the floor in and whatnot afterwards. And oh wait, I'm so not used to having ender pearls here. Very not used to having ender pearls. There we go, that's better. Let's eat things. Let's eat so that we don't die ender pearling ourselves around. Anyway, so that's that. I'm still sort of working on digging out the main part of the base here. You could see I've got the scaffolding for the ones I've already dug out. Just because it is hard to reach to get these stairs placed as we go along here. You'll notice though that we've got these 2 hexes here, but we don't have that one filled in. This one's going to be right down to the bottom, and then whenever I go to build essentially the way back up to the top, there's going to be like a slow way where like all the hexes sort of spiral down to the bottom, down to Y11 there, the bottom floor. And the outer ring, other than those rings that spiral up and potentially various farms or hexes I set up for rooms or whatever, they're gonna be pretty much empty. So there's a lot of mining to do, which is good because enchanted picks and beacons and that sort of thing, they're very necessary for that kind of work there. So I'm not super worried about anything there. You could see I've got sort of the slime chunk marked out as far as I can tell anyway. So we've got that. I've took that little corner out of that hex for it. I'm okay with that. Like even if we have like a hex sort of attached to like the side of the rectangle where the slime farm will be, I've got no issue with that at all. I think it's actually I kind of like the asymmetry, fastest syllable here, the asymmetry of it. You know, it's not centered, and we may have like a hex sort of hanging off the side of a slime farm. I think that's cool because you see, like, not that there's anything wrong with having symmetry in a build, but I like when people sort of go ahead and dare to try for something a little less symmetrical and you know, whether they pull it off or not is a tricky bit, but you know, the attempt is there and the effort's made, and usually if the effort's there and the attempt is made, then it turns out pretty well. So anyway, what we're gonna do today is replace all these tests here. This is a test for how deep I'd have to have each hex in like down there. And then this is a test for the slime farm. I'm going to try whooshing all the slimes off the platform so with water. That may or may not be a good thing, just because, you know, if you just set up platforms, they usually hop off on their own and into water. But the way I may be setting this up, I might not have enough room for water streams and whatnot, because if you remember, was it Sprucecraft? Yeah, if you remember Sprucecraft, the slime farm I had there, although I think that may have been more than one chunk as well, so that's kind of part of it too. But I found the water streams sort of added a lot of width and whatnot to the farm itself. So in order to keep it kind of compact, I might try doing this instead. The thing is, I'm not sure how laggy the timers are going to be and how that's like. Other people use this server too. I want them to be able to enjoy it without rubber banding all the time and moving around sort of erratically, I guess you could say. So anyway, what we're gonna do to this episode though today, tomorrow, whenever. Well, today for you, if you keep watching this video through, is we're gonna take these horses and these horses, and no, not these guys. We're gonna put them over here. Well, I'm not sure if we're gonna get around to moving them over here this episode, but we're gonna take this down. We're gonna plop some stables in, and I've already got sort of a test done for them. And then we're gonna give the horses a nice home that isn't crammed or open to the elements or whatever. Not that it ever rains on this server, but you know, just to make it a bit easier to keep them in a convenient spot and not with the farm animals that, because I'm certain I've hit like every horse accidentally once with that. Like with the swoop attack here, like this. Nope, not that. That one that hits multiple mobs. I'm sure I've hit a horse or two using that on just like a sheep or something. So in order to prevent more of that, I want to get those moved as quickly as possible. And I think I've got a saddle for it. I'd imagine so. I've got a saddle on the thing. Yeah, I've got saddles. Oh, cool. Cool. Sometimes not planning things does actually work out. So, we're going to take a look at what I've got in testing and take this down, and off we go. Alright, guys. So, we're back, and it looks like we've pretty much got all the grass filled in here now. The top layer is pretty much fully green here, other than like the odd spot where you know, I've got like a ladder going down or something like that, because that ladder, that'll have to stay, because it is my main way up and down to the bottom, to and from the bottom there. Sort of finished off the hexes. I even sort of made the ring for this birch hex in the middle a bit taller. It's now 3 blocks tall instead of just the stairs on the outside. It took a lot of wood to do it, but it took, what surprised me, which shouldn't have, but it did, was it took a lot of dirt to fill in all these hexes. I've gone through my supply of dirt, and I never thought I'd have the problem where I'd need more dirt to really do much more. But I did reclaim a little bit here. We got my experiments and whatnot, my tests out of here, and I actually had to dig down a little bit because in here we've got a bit of a bit of a recess for when you'll see it when it gets built, but it'll look like a taller room, and technically it will be by like half a block or so, but it'll look like a taller room when it's complete. Um, but this is the foundation for the stables, which I wanted to make sure I did sort of like a just test the foundation out, measure it out, make sure I have everything right, because for some reason, I do not know why it is, no matter how many times I measure something or count something out or whatever in Minecraft. I'm going to light this before we have mobs spawning in it here, because originally that's not supposed to be super lit, but we are in construction. Anyway, so no matter how many times I count something and measure something and check something, something can definitely go wrong. And when you're building with such an irregular shape like a hexagon in Minecraft, like everyone builds in squares or spheres or circles or cubes, or just basic geometry words there. But as soon as you plop a hexagon into a world of cubes, it creates challenges. Like these things are an even number of blocks wide this way, so you can't really center an odd number wide structure. So I'm going for asymmetry here in these three sort of stalls for the horses. Like they're all the same dimensions, but I've sort of offset them differently. Like these two share a corner. These two don't quite, because I like with these two corners here, I felt it kind of a waste to just leave both of them unused. A bit of a waste of space, and again, the challenge with hexagons is using that space efficiently with the shapes you're given. That's part of the challenge of Minecraft as a whole. If you want to sort of get away from and escape the square nature of just how the game is inherently, it can be pretty difficult challenge to do. So I wanted to make sure when I was doing my test build of this on the creative server that I was able to maximize a bit more the space that I was using. And that space I can use potentially for something else later on. I can maybe have something going on in one of these other two hexes, sort of encroach on that without worrying too much about it, if I need to, or if I want to. But yeah, that's what we've got so far. So this is the dry run, and I keep seeing water there, thinking it's the shirt on a zombie or something. But there are like no mobs. We've got 4 people on. There are like no mobs out here. Also, it's really well lit around here, but you'd think I'd be able to see. Oh, I spoke too soon. And I'm going to grab a sword. Get out of here. There we go. I'm not wearing armor, so I have to be really careful about where the mobs are coming in. So this stable, if we look over on our checklist here, let's see, there, horse stables near the entrance. That's exactly how I described it so far. And so far, that foundation that I've got laid there, that fits exactly where it's supposed to be. So hopefully this is one of those instances where all that counting and measuring and double checking pays off, because it's like you get a sense of accomplishment when you build something, regardless, as long as you build it to do what you want it to do. But sometimes if it's not quite, doesn't quite fit the way you wanted it to, that sense of accomplishment isn't quite as great as if you just completed it verbatim. What is in your head is what you have on your world there, and shot for shot it just fits perfectly. I find that is a lot more rewarding. Although that's not to say that like if challenges arise, like there's something like there's a mob spawner nearby or something, and you're like, oh, well, that kind of makes it hard for me to build the thing I wanted to build, but let's incorporate it into the build. That adding that in can be an even greater sense of reward than even your original build sometimes. But in this instance, I don't really see how that would come into play. So it's good that that's fitting thus far, and it's fitting what we have. There it is, there, and it's also going to fit this. We're gonna be able to kill two to-do list birds with one to-do list stone here. So what we'll have is kind of like these 3 stalls for the horses, which I'm not sure how I'm going to divide them up because I've got a lot of horses. The thing about living in a plains biome is sometimes they just sort of spawn on the grass naturally while you're in the area, which, maybe, if I can get them back to near spawn, it wouldn't hurt to maybe set up a shop or something. Maybe? I don't know. That's me thinking out loud here. No promises, just thinking out loud. But where was I going with that? Right, yes, so lots of horses. So I've got a bunch of horses in there. I'm not sure how I'm going to divide them up between these 3 stalls. I may have to I might even like make a second one of these on like the opposite hex on the far side there, which isn't super convenient spot for it. Or even just mirror it on that hex. That might be a cool idea too. Thinking out loud. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, but I'd say this time it's probably pretty good. Anyway, so yes, there's going to be the first floor for stalls, and this room, let's see, on this column here, we're going to have a ladder going up to a second floor that I could put beds in. I can sort of decorate to be like a home above the stalls. Who wants to live above horse poo is kind of, that's a bit up in the air, but but it's a lot better than having to take up floor space in the item room for the bed, because like it's lately at least there hasn't been a lot of opportunity for me to change night back into day with the bed there, but sometimes I'm lucky to be the only one on the server and can do that. And although it's convenient to have it there in that I don't have to travel, like there's no transit time to and from the bed if I'm already in the item room. It's kind of in the way a little bit. And I'm having the same problem that I had on Sprucecraft, where it might just take 40 episodes before that thing leaves this room. I don't want that to happen again. It doesn't need to happen again. So what I will do now is keep working away here, and then we'll maybe update you on how things are going. All right, so guys, while we're doing this little montage, just wanted to go over a couple things. Because I kind of started, I'm not going to lie, I started this episode kind of as if nothing had ever happened. Nothing had ever changed. But clearly there was a change, and that was, well, it kind of was that nothing happened, really. Like, the Nebulous server went down for a bit. I was under the impression that once it started back up, and that it would start back up later. So I'm not complaining that it started up in May instead of actually in summer, but I'm quite thankful for that actually. But my understanding was that we'd be starting from scratch again, right from like a brand new map, brand new spawn and that sort of thing. I'm quite all right with the way things are right now. It means I have a lot less work ahead of me for getting the base complete. Or at least to a point where I feel like I could leave it and be okay with the amount of progress I made. Because I know Sprucecraft, if I had been able to finish that library, I would have been at that spot. I would have been able to say, hey, my base, I could put more things in it, but as far as I'm currently concerned, it has everything it needs to have in it. Now, this time I don't know how long the server's going to be up. I don't know how much time I'm going to have on it, especially now that I'm on 2 servers. So we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, I was definitely not expecting to be able to just start off where I left off last episode, which again is very nice, and I'm quite thankful for that. And another thing I'd like to talk about is that on yet another server. So let's see, we've got Nebulous, we've got Suburbia, we've got the Xisumavoid, the Xisumavoid Plotworld server. Link will be in the description there. If you ever want to see like test builds of things I'm planning for later episodes, or if you just like spoilers or that kind of thing, like there aren't a ton of signs saying, hey, this is what's going on with this is what's going on with that. There are a few of them, but if you ever want to know what I'm doing, or what I'm planning, or what I might be planning but might scrap later, or if you just want behind the scenesy stuff, definitely head over to my plot on there. I believe it is /visit and then my in-game name, which is Professor Maple 1, capital P, capital M. 1 is not capitalized because that makes it a number sign or a exclamation mark or something. Exclamation mark, definitely that, on most keyboards anyway. But yeah, if you ever just want to check that out, I will link that server in the description. And it won't be the only thing there. It'll have some friends down there. I'll put something that's coming later in the video down there as well. And also, if you haven't seen my sort of Overwatch video, once the open beta came out for that weekend of Mother's Day, I didn't really have a ton of time to record a video. I had Friday night and then Monday night, because for the Saturday, Sunday, did I even have Friday? Or was it a Thursday? Anyway, I had essentially 2 days of recording that I was able to do. Thankfully, I got all the recording I needed to, or wanted to do, done then. There were a couple heroes that I didn't quite get to try out. A couple classes I didn't try out, but now that I've bought it, I'll have the chance to try them out when the game actually fully releases. But anyway, I had fun recording that. I had fun editing that. I don't have, like, editing's like not, the most boring or uninteresting thing in the world, or it's not something I particularly dislike, but I had a lot more fun editing that video than I expected to, which is cool. And sort of just like putting the jokes together and whatnot in a way that was maybe a bit more entertaining than the raw footage itself. It was definitely a good time, especially since I had that whole weekend between recording and editing to forget what jokes I'd made. That made it a lot better too. But yes, so I have purchased Overwatch. I do have enough friends that are also going to be playing it once it fully releases, and I'm going to enjoy the heck out of that game. It will not replace TF2, but it will definitely be a game in my roster to play, potentially to record more. I'm sure there are a lot of people putting Overwatch videos out into the internet, the vast expanse of the internet. A lot of them are paid, a lot of them are not. So how many people are going to be entertained by me doing that? I don't know. It's not really something. I don't get paid to do YouTube. And I keep sort of going on, I do this for me, I do this, but it is kind of interesting to get feedback and see, okay, are people watching this? It's YouTube analytics, they kind of make you want numbers, even if you didn't necessarily want to go into that into making YouTube videos to see view counts and subscriber numbers and whatnot rise. That wasn't initially my goal coming into YouTube, but now that they have an analytics thing and I've been taking a peek at it every once in a while, it's interesting. It's not like, oh my gosh, I have to get this 25th subscriber or whatever, and then I can go buck naked through the park and celebrate or something. Just it's something interesting to sort of keep an eye on. Really, that's all that is. But anyway, yes. So I'm definitely gonna have fun playing Overwatch as well as TF2, and as well as Minecraft on 2 servers. So I've got a lot of free time, just kind of going into. It's definitely going to be occupied by one of those 4 games a lot of the time. Not that it isn't already occupied, but 4 games, 2 Minecraft servers and 2 other games. My brain not thinking, but you get the point. Anyway, all right. So I think we've got the easy part done so far. The part that's low to the ground in survival. I am surprised at how quickly this part sort of came up. I did kind of do the foundation first. Whether or not that's cheating, we can sort of, when I can put some more things in there. Whether or not that counts, I don't really care. I'm not paying that much attention to the numbers, but it was surprisingly quick compared to what I expected, because usually, I've designed this in creative mode, and usually when you do switch over to survival, it takes a lot longer to build things in survival because you can't fly around, you can't reach as far when you're placing and destroying blocks, plus you have to wait. Any blocks you are destroying takes more time to destroy them usually. But so far so good. We've got the outer lower floor pretty much complete, other than ceilings and whatnot, and that's where it gets tough, because again, we can't really just hover around, fly like creative mode. But this is why I can't really wait for this to be complete, because it's almost going too easy, and I'm apprehensive to enjoy the moment as it is. But I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can while I can, at least for the time being. So I'm going to keep going on this, and we'll see how it looks in a little bit here. All right, so tricky thing about building not only through the night, but also when you're not near the ground, these creepers sneak up on you and make it hard to get back down to the ground when you need your supplies. So what the plan is here, because we're going to try and fight this thing smartly here, because it's going to chase us, try to explode. What? No, don't you dare come in here. Good. So his AI shows, and I'll explain it later, sort of the horse AI is going to, and the reason the stalls are designed the way they are is that middle block there, where that wall is, That's the only full block in that will be in that 3 block height there. So thankfully the creeper kind of showed that off as well and didn't try to go through here to get to me. But what I'm going to try to do now is, and I'm really nervous about this, but I'm going to try and jump down and skid over to the pond there, that little lake thing. He's moving erratically. It's making me really nervous. Okay, so I'm going to try and get over the pond there. Try and keep from causing damage to the build and the landscape and whatnot in the process. And hopefully he'll detonate in there. Oh, nah, I thought we were... you were walking away. I thought we were in the clear for a moment there. Okay, so we're going to hit the ground running here. Try very hard not to get things exploded. Oh, he's just ignoring me. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, yep. Stay far enough away. And make it so you have no choice but to come into here to detonate on my face. Yay! And usually I take damage doing that, but that I got lucky there. So, phew! Thank goodness we didn't get killed in the process. Because again, no armor. I'm building. I don't want to have to fiddle around with armor and slots of my inventory and stuff. It's bad enough while I'm building. Alright guys, so I've done a little bit of work since we're gone. In fact, I've even moved that bed that was in my way here. Not that it really makes a much better of a view at the moment. It'll be nice later though. But yeah, so I've moved the bed, and here's what we've got here so far. We've got this lovely. It's got smoke coming out of the chimney there. It's got an upper floor, the roof. Not that you can really see it much from the ground, which I'm quite alright with. It's a little flat. It's a bit rectangular. If we look at it from the top, just quickly, yeah, it's just a rectangle there. So I'm quite alright with not being able to see much of it from the ground. I could have gone a little more, made a bit more of a shape with it, but that would have sacrificed some room on the inside. And I haven't really decorated much on the inside yet. I've really just been concerned about the outside. So we'll go through some of the features here. We've got some textured walls with jungle wood fence windows here. Got some hay bales, not straw bales. We've also got some nice little... I'm starting to put some more of these lights in here, the jack-o'-lanterns and jungle leaves. Ooh, and this tree grew. Nice, cool. I did not plan... I planned that it was going to grow. I didn't plan that it was going to grow in time for me to show you guys. This is the back. It's not really all that interesting. I've got some windows up on the top here. Also jungle wood, but it's hard to really see that it's jungle wood because of the lighting stuff going on here. Although that one's sort of, you get enough from the side of the red and orange. The back's kind of not really super interesting because originally my plan was to put a wall here for the outside of the base. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go ahead with that still, but in case I do, I'm not super concerned about decorating the back, because the front's the part I'm going to use the most, and it's going to be the part everyone sees the most, so I'm not really all that concerned. Now, if we go inside, we can see I found this is actually a really nice use for the path blocks, I feel. Like, I wouldn't maybe span them quite as much out here, although I might still try it out and see how that goes. But I like it. So, you just 1.9 left click with the shovel on all these blocks. For some reason, it doesn't work with the ones that have fence posts over top of them. I don't understand why that is, but, you know, I'm not super bothered by it either way. And it's kind of cool because you do get a little bit of that cobble texture to sort of, I don't know, it almost makes you focalize on it a bit more. Although, aha, and I don't have, don't have any cobble on me for once. Like I've been mining so much cobble out of the under the base there that it's very rare that I don't have cobble on me. But anyway, so yes, we've got that going on. We've got inside here, we've got our acacia wood door and some more jungle wood here, and some here just as sort of like something to make the door not jump out quite as much, sort of bring it into the realm of the other browns in here. See, I've added a chest to my original design just because when I was building, I figured, oh yeah, I'll just keep everything in this room while I build. I ran out of room in the first chest and needed to resort to a second chest. Not that I filled it completely on the second one either, but, you know, I might get some coal in here because I've got, what is it, 3 furnaces in here total? And I've got this cute little ender pearl window that I can shoot an ender pearl out of if I need to scoot that way for some reason. That's not actually a feature. It was just meant to be a window, and then I realized I could do that. Second floor, we ladder up. We've got big open space. I'm not sure if I want to put like a third floor in here. I definitely have the option to, but we'll have to see about that. I've also got 2 sort of pretty much the same room on either side here. It's got this sort of shelfy upper level thing, and you can kind of see to the other room here around the corner. As much as, you know, it's not really normal for a house or a stable or anything, I kind of think it's kind of cool being able to just zoop across there vision wise. Oh, I might have to switch up that torch. That torch looks weird there. But, you know, we've got a view of that tree. Not much else. But this room's going to be mostly for sleeping anyway, so what do you need a view for, right? And we've got, yeah, that's pretty much it, actually. So I'm going to, actually, you know what, we'll try the ender pearl hole out. Works fine there. And I've noticed, I'm not sure if it's a 1.9.4 thing or if it's just the servers I've been on or what, but you know, every once in a while when you use ender pearls, you're supposed to get endermites. But like statistically that's supposed to happen, but I haven't really noticed any endermites since switching to 1.9.4. Anyway, we're going to get some last outer main bits of this build put up. What I've done here is I've made 2 banners. One for the Nebulous server. And one is one, if you're watching my Suburbia series, you'll recognize it as me. And we're gonna put these up on the side of the stable here. And consider the main construction complete. And really the only reason I'm putting 2 banners up here is because this is like too wide and there wasn't any way of making just one of them look good here. So we've got that, and we've got the Nebulous server there. And you know what? They look kind of weird side by side, but I like both of them. I really like both designs. I'm sure there probably was something more clever I could have done with the Nebulous one, but I thought it was alright. The most clever I did was layering the pink oxide daisy underneath the magenta and then the purple circle. And then also I had purple outline on the outside that I did the fade in white below the flowers, but over top of that outer edge, and it's kind of visible from afar still, which I kind of like. But yeah, that's the majority of that build done. I might decorate either off camera in another episode, or I don't know. But I'd consider that. Well, actually, you know what? Let's take a look at the to-do list here. We've got a house, someplace to put a bed. Oh gosh, the beacon is just making me tear through that there. So that's complete. Horse stables, check. That one's done. And a light little click on there just to make sure we don't lose everything. And then we've also got another one done. We've got design personal banner and design Nebulous server banner. That is complete as well. So that was almost a completely full side of the board. We've just taken a good chunk out of it. Literally. So I think what we're gonna do is I haven't started editing the video yet, so I don't know if this is a short episode or a long. Well, it's probably not a long episode, but it's probably likely to be a shorter end episode. But we're gonna end it here. So I hope you enjoyed the thing I just did. Don't be afraid to leave some of that internet positivity in the underplace there. And have a good now, have a good later, and I will see you next episode. Goodbye!